Two men walk into the same bank, same week, same city. Man A makes $220,000 a year. Senior engineer. Tech company. Pay stubs perfect. Credit score 790. Man B makes $60,000 a year. Works at a hardware store. Man B gets approved for a $400,000 loan in 3 days. Man A gets denied. What just happened? Did the bank make a mistake? No. The bank did exactly what it was designed to do. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand a secret about money that most high earners never figure out until it's too late. Stick around, because the twist at the end of this story is going to change how you think about your own paycheck. Chapter 1. The myth of the good income. Most of us grow up believing the same simple equation. Work hard, earn a high salary, and the financial system will reward you. Banks, lenders, the whole machine. They're supposed to respect a paycheck. And on paper, that seems true. Man A had every box checked. High income, stable job, no red flags. He assumed, like most of us would, that this made him safe in the eyes of a bank. But here's the uncomfortable truth banks don't advertise. A salary is not wealth. A salary is a promise. It's a bet that you'll keep showing up to the same job, keep being healthy enough to work, keep being employed in an industry that doesn't get disrupted, automated, or laid off in the next recession. Banks don't actually fall in love with income. They fall in love with something else entirely, something Man B had and Man A didn't. Chapter 2. Who is Man B? Let's go back to Man B. $60,000 a year. Hardware store. Sounds modest, right? Except Man B's last name was attached to a small parcel of land his grandfather bought in the 1970s. Paid off, no debt. Now worth $900,000. His parents had a retirement account worth 7 figures. And critically, Man B was a co-signer and beneficiary on a family trust that had existed for over a decade, with a documented, traceable financial history. When the bank looked at Man B, they weren't looking at his paycheck. They were looking at his family's balance sheet, decades of assets, low risk, real estate, predictable behavior. To the bank, Man B wasn't a 27-year-old hardware store employee. He was the inheritor of a financial track record that started before he was even born. Man A, meanwhile, had a 6-figure salary and almost nothing behind it. No real estate, no investments, a salary that started 2 years ago. To the bank, Man A was a stranger with a good story. Man B was a known quantity with decades of proof. This is twist number 1. Banks don't lend on what you earn. They lend on what you can prove will still exist if your income disappears tomorrow. Chapter 3. The invisible score. Nobody talks about. Here's where it gets even more interesting and a little uncomfortable. There's an unofficial reality in lending that nobody puts in a brochure. Generational wealth doesn't just provide collateral. It provides behavioral history. Banks can see patterns, how a family manages debt, whether they've defaulted, whether they pay early, whether their assets appreciate or get liquidated in a crisis. A high salary has none of that history. It's brand new. It's fragile. One bad year, one layoff, one health scare, and that good income disappears completely. And the bank knows this better than anyone because they've watched thousands of high earners go from great applicant to missed payment the moment a single paycheck stopped. But generational wealth rarely behaves like that. It's diversified. It's been stress tested by past recessions. It's already survived 2008, survived inflation spikes, survived market crashes, and it's still standing. So when a bank chooses between a stranger with a great story and a family with a proven multi-decade track record, They're not being unfair. They're doing exactly what risk models tell them to do. This is the system working as designed, and most people never realize it until they're the one getting denied. Chapter 4. The twist. It's not about being rich. Now here's where the story flips. You'd think this means if you weren't born into money, you're stuck. Game over. But that's not actually the lesson here. And this is the part most finance videos completely miss. It's not generational wealth itself that banks respect. It's what generational wealth represents: assets, history, and proof of stability over time, which means a 30-year-old with no family money can build the exact same trust profile a bank is looking for, just on a faster, condensed timeline, buying one small appreciating asset, building a documented track record of on-time payments, having liquid savings that exist independent of a paycheck, diversifying so that no single job loss can wipe you out. In other words, you don't need to inherit decades of history. You need to start creating it today instead of relying on your salary to speak for you. Man A's mistake wasn't earning $220,000. His mistake was thinking the number on his paycheck was the whole story. It never was. It was never just about income. It was about whether your money has proof of life beyond your job title. Chapter 5. What happened next? So what happened to Man A? He got denied, but he didn't just walk away angry. He got curious. He asked his loan officer, off the record, why a guy making nearly 4 times less than him got approved instantly. The answer reshaped his entire financial life. Within 18 months, Man A had opened a brokerage account, automated monthly investments regardless of how busy work got, bought a small rental property with a partner to start building a documented asset history, and, critically, stopped treating his salary like it was permanent. 2 years later, Man A applied for another loan. Different bank, different city, approved in 48 hours. Nothing about his salary had dramatically changed. What changed was that he was no longer a stranger with a good story. He had become, in the eyes of the system, a known quantity, just like Man B had been from the start. Chapter 6. The real answer. So, do banks respect salary or generational wealth? The honest answer is neither exactly. Banks respect proof. Proof that money will still be there next year and the year after and the year after that, independent of whether you keep your job, stay healthy, or get a promotion. Generational wealth just happens to come with decades of proof already built in. But it is not unreachable, and it is not the finish line. It's a head start, not a locked door. The real twist of this whole story isn't that the system is rigged against people without family money. It's that most high earners never realize their salary, by itself, was never the asset the bank was looking for. The paycheck gets you in the room. Assets, history, and proof are what get you the approval. If you're someone living off a strong salary right now, ask yourself one question. If that income disappeared tomorrow, what would still be standing? If the answer is nothing, that's the real lesson hiding inside this whole story. If this changed the way you think about money, hit subscribe.